Fools for love. Does love make a fool of us all? Act a little crazy at some time or another, or is it something else? Yesterday's papers told how jobless Kevin Wilson from Tyne Wear conned Sharon, his wife of 22 years, out of nearly £50,000 by forging her signature on a loan secured on their home. He then used the money to shower lavish gifts on his girlfriend Deborah, who, by the way, had no idea he was married. She got a car, a holiday in the Gambia and jewellery. Wilson received a 9-month suspended sentence for deception and forgery, and guess what? This is the bit that gets me. His wife Sharon has forgiven him, even though she must pay £500 a month for the next 7 years to clear the debt he got her in. And she's not the only fool for love in this story, because Mistress Deborah has also forgiven him for lying to her as well. It's going well, isn't it, this one, Antony? They, of course, are not the only fools for love. There was another story earlier this month. The pensioner Tanya Campbell conned out £250,000 by her toy boy lover Chad. He was jailed for the crime earlier this month, but Tanya told journalists she still loves him and refuses to believe she's been conned. It's a sad story, that one. Now, philosophers say falling in love can promote our own sense of well-being, but clearly this is not always the case. Is it love, though, that makes us act the fool, or something else? And I keep thinking of insecurity, but I don't know what you might contribute to the mix, Antony.
I just think it's ridiculous.
But we all do it, though, don't we?
I've been a victim of it. I'm sure everyone else has. But, I mean, taking nearly 50 grand out of your wife of 22 years and then just forgiving him like that, I don't know, what is he, made of gold or something?
Well, do you think she's mad to forgive him?
Yeah, because, I don't know, it's all well being in standing by your partner, yeah, if he's made a few business mistakes and da-da-da, yeah, you have to stand by your partner because it's incidents in wealth, da-da-da, and, you know, the whole vows, but to still, that's wrong. Well, maybe... I just think it's wrong.
Maybe, I mean, it's difficult in this particular story, but maybe he was depressed because he hadn't got a job. He found solace in the arms of another woman, but it happens. It happens.
Slightly.
It happens. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. So he falls in love with another woman, and in order to keep this fake feeling of well-being alive, he starts stealing from his wife to help that. No.
But what's interesting is he didn't fall in love as himself, did he? I mean, not only did he lie about being married, which was a detail he shouldn't have overlooked, but he also said that he was a university-educated butterfly expert. So the man was nobody. He was real to nobody. He wasn't
low self-esteem.
True to himself, basically, yeah. And I think that's always the key thing, isn't it, with any relationship, that when it starts off, you don't need the other person. Your feelings are just all about you. You know, you project so much onto that person. This is why people feel things about people they see in magazines. But if they take those feelings and amplify them, you don't need the other person at all. And I think the longer it goes on, the more all your feelings are about you and how you feel about them. So they become a sort of cipher in the end, which I presume is what happened to both of these women, that they were just feeling something about themselves. And he happened to be the person in the middle. And it's always weird, isn't it? I mean, absolutely no aspersions.
So you think that you're saying love is blind?
I think it is.
I think it is.
I think it is. And I think initially it's very blind, and then obviously you have the advice and help of your friends and time, usually. So it usually dissolves to a kind of myopia. So, you know, you're still seeing them in a blurry way. But usually then that's when you're at your most vulnerable, because that's when your friends start commenting on the other person. And I think we've all known one of those circumstances where you're friends with someone that you don't really think is great. They happen to say, oh, we had a really bad night last night, we had a row or something, and you go, oh yeah, and actually he's always been like that. Then of course they get back together and they exclude you. So, you know, they only need each other, but basically I think you only need you in that relationship, and that's what's fascinating.
You've been made a fool of by love, Martin?
I think we all have. I mean, I remember when I was younger being in a relationship which was just horrible, and you didn't stop it because you sort of want it to work. And actually I think the one thing...
Well, that's the determination to keep things going.
I think the one thing that's changed as I've got older is I don't want to be in a relationship. I'm not happy in a relationship. It's not a relationship, and you shouldn't be in it. But I mean, I think that's something you have to learn. I do find the funny thing about the butterfly professor, I bet there are professors of butterflies all over the country going, I wish I earned that much. But I think in this case, this is, you've got it right, first word, this is low self-esteem, insecurity. I mean, I think there are two women sitting there, possibly, and I don't know them, so we're guessing, but going, well, if I lose him, what have I got then?
Maybe.
That's it.
Yeah,
I think you're saying, Antony, that it's happened to you. I mean,
I mean, same thing with Martin says, you know, young relationship, you've only got tunnel vision, you don't care what you say, what Janet, you know, you just don't care.
So you had people saying, you know, she's a bad
I mean, I've been a victim of losing friends, you know, because of you know, previous when I was about 18, 19, oh, she's not good for you, and you're like, no, she's wicked, you know, she does this for me, she makes me happy, she does it. Yeah, but you don't hear what we've heard. And
it's interesting because we've all said it happens when you're younger, and I guess that kind of foolishness or folly is acceptable when you're younger.
Yeah.
But it makes great reading, shall we say, when you're a bit older, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm so glad it's happened to me when I was young, because now I'm so wary of falling in love again straight away. You know.
Until you do.
Until I do, then I'll come on this show and it's my new bird.
Would you listen to your friends this time? Because actually, it's the sort of lesson that goes there. I sit there and go, my friends have always been pretty good because they know me and they look from the outside, and they all prefer my girlfriend to me these days. So I mean, I must be doing something right. So.
Let's throw it open to you. Does love make a fool of us all? Let's see what you've got to say.
And it's funny because the worse someone treats you, the more stupid you actually become, don't you?
Yeah. Well, that's that old phrase, you know, treat them mean, keep them keen.
Absolutely,
there is something to it, and
well.
again, probably that low self-esteem.
Let's